Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, you can discuss entrepreneurship, you can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families, you can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, we thank you all for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, we are now in the midst of our June FijiWater.com sponsored promo. Go to our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com, and the first 3 songs you hear at 12 p.m. or 6 p.m., list the songs along with your name and your email address. Text them to the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. One of our listeners and viewers will receive a case, will be selected to win and receive a case of Fiji Water at Earth's finest water from FijiWater.com. As I indicated before, since we started the promo, we have had one winner in South Carolina, we had one winner in Pennsylvania, we had one winner in New York, and we are now in the month of June for our FijiWater.com sponsored promo. And I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, you asked for it, you got it. We're going to be going to a 1-hour broadcast. We will be notifying you of the date, but it will be in the beginning of July. It will be the first week of July. We will tell you the exact date because, as you know, there is a holiday in July. So we will give you that exact date. But you have been asking for this for a few years now, actually for several years now, but you've been asking for this. So we're going to give you what you've been asking for. And we want to thank all of you for being tuned in with us in 3D Daily, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been married for 11 years and you feel as though you have gone as far as you can go with your husband. You said he's content right where he is and where you both are in life. You say you want more. You say you want much more. But what's really interesting about that is you've been married for 11 years. So think about this. When you stood before God and man and you made not just a commitment, but a covenant to be married. Now, I get it, divorce happens, and I'm going to make sure I address that. You've often heard me say that divorce happens because the people we join ourselves to is not the person God had appointed for us. What God joins together. This is how you know when a marriage is made in covenant with God. The scripture tells us what God joins together, no man can put asunder. So you cannot destroy a marriage when God has joined it together. It can only implode when it's something you've joined together. And so we have to realize that divorce does happen. However, you're simply saying that your husband's content where you are and where you are in life, and you want much more. What more do you want than the quality of life that you currently have? And if you want more, then you sit down and you have a discussion about the more you want to accomplish, and you find that you two can walk together in agreement. It doesn't mean that you're going to agree on everything. It just means that you can walk together in that agreement, trusting God that He'll lead the way, because your opinion and his opinion may not be the same opinion. What you want to do and what he wants to do may not be the same thing. But if you trust God to walk you through it, it will come to pass if it's God's will. It shall come to pass if it's God's will. So you have to say to yourself, why is it that you feel you want more? And why do you feel that you need more? And why do you feel you deserve more? Now, those are three very serious components. Why do you feel that you want more? Okay, so it's human nature not to be satisfied with what you've accomplished, but you have to trust what God will accomplish in you and through you. So you're not going to be, you'll be content, but you're not going to be complacent. You're always going to be looking for ways to move forward. It's not a matter of wanting more, it's a matter of moving forward. It's about a matter of progressing your success. It's a matter of getting to the place where you experience the fullness of God. And so you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're searching for more? You're not talking about purpose. You're not talking about calling. You're not talking about appointment. You're talking about wanting more. So what more do you want? And do you even know what you want? The next question is, why do you need more? If you have so let me take the if out of that. You have a great quality of life, and you want to maintain that quality of life, and you want to continue to enhance and improve your quality of life. However, do you need more or do you just want more? And then you have to ask yourself, why do you deserve more? Are you a good steward over what God has already blessed you with? And will you be a good steward if God gives you more? Are you prepared for more? Those are questions you have to ask yourself before you start talking about, I don't want to be married to my husband any longer. You feel like you've gone as far as you can go with him. Well, this is your place in life where God has placed you right now, both of you. So I will tell you this. Your husband is content. That doesn't mean complacent. That just means that he understands that right where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. That's the blessing on the journey to the fullness of God. When you can get to a place where you understand that I'm good right where I am, but I'm going to be greater going to where God wants me to go. But all of that takes time, preparation, and the right state of mind, because you have to be prepared for where God is going to take you. If you want more, if you need more to accomplish greater, and you know that you're going to be a good steward, now all you have to do is line up your will with the will of God, and your will with the way of God. So when you say you want to go because you want much more, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. You leave the man that God has brought into your life and enhanced the quality of your life to be with the unknown. Sure, that might sound thrilling. Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. You've got to renew your mind and say, okay, we're going to have conversations about what more we can accomplish in life. Not that you just want more. What more can you accomplish in life together? Because remember, two is better than one. Two is better than one because if one falters, you have the other one to prop you up. Two is better than one because of strength in numbers. I can give you all the cliches. But the truth of the matter is that when the two of you align your will with the way of God and the will of God, now there's three of you. And when God is with you, it's so much greater than you trying to go it alone, or even you and your husband just trying to go together at odds with one another. We got to think differently. You know, yesterday I preached a sermon. Hopefully, I know a lot of you were tuned in, and to God be the glory. Thinking and believing for the future. Sure, there's more out there to accomplish, but you have to make certain that it's what God wants you to accomplish, because then He'll give you the strength and the desire to accomplish it. This is going to take me into another communication, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to pause right there and say, you need to rejoice in the Lord for the marriage that He's given you, the covenant that you have with God, with your husband. And look forward and believe forward for what God has in store for the two of you together. Because the two of you apart are not as good as the two of you together. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay, by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. However, before I do that, this segment of the broadcast is going to be brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you're in the market for a high-performance automobile, one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will have the opportunity to virtually build out the Porsche you desire to own. And if you're in our area, you can simply go to PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Didio, who is the general manager at PorscheDelaware.com. He will have someone assist you in selecting the Porsche you desire to own. And if you're in our area and you currently own a Porsche and you're just in need of service, go to PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Adams, who is the service manager at PorscheDelaware.com. He will have someone assist you in scheduling an appointment. They will pick up your vehicle at your home or office and return your vehicle to you when your service has been completed, while providing you with a loaner car during your service at PorscheDelaware.com. I'm going to address another communication. So when we start the broadcast, we say you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship, marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families, dating, relationships. This is a very interesting communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who wanted to know, how do you really become successful in life? You know what's interesting about that is that society tells us so many things that are not true. You know, I listened to someone recently say that, you know, if they could just find what they're passionate about, you know, they hear if you find what you're passionate about, you will be happy and successful. never mention purpose. They only mention passion. Well, here's the problem with that. You could be passionate about crocheting, but is that going to help you build a career and make a living that will provide you with the quality of life? You could be passionate about, okay, so I'm a golf enthusiast. I am a runner. I love running because it gives me just quality time to be out with God or with someone that I love, that I enjoy spending time. The point I'm trying to make to this is you can be passionate about things that are not going to build a great quality of life for you. They're not going to build wealth. They're not going to preserve wealth. You can be passionate about a lot of things, but it's not going to lead to you being successful. The things that you're passionate about will make you happy, but they won't make you successful. What you have to find is your purpose. And one of the ways that you'll find your purpose is the effort you put into anything. Because remember this, effort is going to translate into results. The more you do anything, the better you're going to be at doing it. One of the things that in master class they will tell you is that you have to master anything, you have to put in 10,000 hours. You literally are going to have to put in 10,000 hours to master it. Now, some people may just be satisfied being good at it. Some people may be satisfied just getting by. But to master it, you have to do it for 10,000 hours, minimum. Now, the reality of that is that the more you do anything and the more effort you put into anything, you're going to find that you're going to become good at it. And what's going to happen when you become good at something is you're going to enjoy doing it. And when you enjoy doing it, it doesn't require you to just ignore the passion that's involved. It inspires the passion. And then you become committed. You become dedicated. You become diligent. You then begin to take on the spirit of excellence. Maybe not in every aspect, but the spirit of excellence will begin to transition throughout what you're doing because of the effort you put in. So effort, first of all, to find your purpose, and then the effort you put into your purpose will then begin to inspire a passion in you. Listen, I'm never going to win a marathon, but I run them. And the reason I'm not going to win them is because I'm not going to run as fast as the person who's going to win. My goal is always to finish. And my goal is to finish and hopefully have a great run, so that when I get to the finish line, I can say I've accomplished something. Well, it's the same thing about life. But the difference is when life comes to an end, when we get to that finish line, we want to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." We want to hear, "Well done, my friend." We want to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant, enter into the rest of the Lord." That's the goal. So that's the finish line for us, for those of us who are Christians. Now, having said that, while we're here, we still have a race to run. But you want to run it with effort. You want to run it with passion. You want to run it with effort. You want to run it with purpose, which will lead you to the passion of finishing the race. And that should be part of our goal every single day, is to put enough effort in to whatever God has purposed for our lives so that we can be happy and successful. Because what you're passionate about will make you happy. But your purpose will make you successful. And then you have to really focus on maximizing your success, which means mastering your craft, maximizing your success. And then you enter into the fullness of God. There's levels to this. You enter into the fullness of God. And then you want to maximize the fullness of God. So you really want to focus on, there's some other steps to this also. But first, it begins with the effort that you put into your purpose. Your effort will help to identify your purpose. Your effort in getting into a closer relationship with the Lord, making a conscious commitment that you are going to build this great relationship with the Lord and allow the Spirit of God to reveal to you your purpose. Meditate, read your scriptures. We got to do there's a lot of things that we need to do to really enhance the quality of our lives. There's a lot of things we need to do that we don't do. And the reason is because we find other stuff to do. But other stuff won't get you to a place of success. You got to make the main thing the main thing. You've got the main thing is, I need to identify my purpose. I need to focus on what God has appointed for my life. And I need to put the effort in every day. All right, so now having said that, let's talk about the practical side of success also. When you begin to give 100% of the time to everything that you're required to do in life, it's going to lead you to success. There are things that you do, so you may put 100% into one thing, you give 90% to something else, you give 80% to something else, because each category is going to have a 100% benchmark. It's going to have there is a way to get to 100%. Now, people will say, well, Pastor, you're talking about perfection. No, I'm talking about being perfected. To be the best version of you. You giving 100% doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do what someone else does. What it means is that you're giving 100% of what you're capable of doing. Whether that's in your career, whether that's being a husband, whether that's being a wife, whether that's being a father, whether that's being a son or daughter, you're giving 100%. Whether it is, maximizing your talents, whatever your talents may be, you're giving 100% to each category has that benchmark. When you get to that point where you're giving 100% of the time to be the best version of you that you can become, then you're going to begin to experience success like you've never known it before. And then you have to realize that what you're doing in the physical realm is only a small part of what is being done. Because God is doing something in the spiritual realm that you can't see. But He's doing it. And we just have to be receptive to accepting what God is doing in our lives. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Comcast Business. If you are like the rest of us who need to be more effective and efficient in business, Comcast Business will give you the opportunity to do just that. Call Eunice at Comcast Business at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope. And with a qualifying gig bundle, you will receive an $800 prepaid Visa gift card. At Comcast Business, contact Eunice at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope. And with a qualifying bundle, you will receive a prepaid $800 prepaid Visa gift card. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. However, this segment of the broadcast is going to be brought to you by Nike Golf. If you are a golfer and in need of golf gear, equipment, attire, whatever you need, go to Nike.com, type in the search bar the word golf. You will see everything Nike has available to you to enjoy a golf experience. And if you are just in need of athletic attire or equipment to enjoy any other type of activity, because we want you to be whole in your body, mind, and spirit, go to Nike.com. They have everything you could possibly need to stay fit and to be healthy in our body. We want to make certain that we cover all components that are going to help us to be whole. Go to Nike.com and enjoy everything that Nike has to offer for you athletically. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you just turned 30. Okay, so another millennial with us, and you said life has been fun until now. However, now it is time for you to be serious, you said, and you have no idea how to make the change. Okay, so let me tell you this. Stop, I'm going to lead us into this with humor. Stop doing whatever you've been doing. So all of the things you've been doing that you categorize as fun, stop doing them. And be still. So you realize now it's a serious time. And the reason you realize that is because, truth be told, you are almost halfway to the point of expected life expectancy. Okay, I get it. So at 30, you still have a little time, but this is the time to be serious. You are correct. It's been fun. You've been having a good time. But you've developed bad habits. The bad habits are, I know how to have a good time, but I don't know how to be serious about life. So let me begin by taking you here. You have to think about the fact that you right now are at a point where you have spent the last 8 or 9 years after college just having a good time. You've got to spend the next 10 years being serious about everything you do. And what I mean by that is both in your personal life and your professional life. So serious times require serious-minded people. And being serious-minded requires you to really examine yourself. This is something we do and talk about quite frequently, is that a man or a woman has to examine themselves continuously. Now, in our church, we do that every month when we do Holy Communion. We remind ourselves to examine ourselves, see what we've accomplished in our relationship with the Lord over the last month, every month. What have we done to improve that relationship? And what have we done to improve ourselves? Body, mind, and spirit. What have we done to improve ourselves? What have we done to improve our attitude? What have we done to improve our behavior? What have we done to enhance our commitment? What have we done to become more diligent? What have we done to create a spirit of excellence? What have we done to exercise our faith? Because faith requires work. The work is our exercise. What are we doing to increase our level of faith? Are we really focused on the next level? Because that requires faith. Everyone talks about the next level, but everyone doesn't put the work in for the next level. We've got to put in the effort to get to the next level. Doesn't happen by osmosis. Can't sit around and do nothing and expect to go to the next level. So we've got to make certain that we are doing what's necessary. So stop doing what you've been doing And stop doing it with the people you've been doing it with. Start doing some new things and start doing it with some new people. Because you are literally the average of the 5 people you spend the most of your time with, or that you give the most of your time. It's time to be serious and make some change. So you've got to renew your mind. Be still. And start to think about how you can do things differently and what you can accomplish by doing things differently. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast, 3D, has been brought to you by Fiji Water. The taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary